This morning, Brother Love gave an illuminating lecture on secular humanism. This was followed by Dr. Briney's lecture on creation and evolution. In the afternoon, we went into the city for a guided tour of the Pentagon. Afterwards, we visited the outside memorial for the victims of the 9/11 attack, a sobering experience for all. Let's hear from a couple students about their experiences at the Pentagon and their views on the training this week.
Pentagon is probably one of my favorite places. Since I want to go into the Army for my career, it was something that really interested me and something I really enjoyed. Probably one of the most of my entire trip here. I liked all the displays, the aircrafts that they had here, and the memorials to 9/11 victims, to MacArthur and Lee. Things like that really stood out to me.
What stood out for me the most with the Pentagon is just the fact that there were so many people there that were working and had something to do, and there's just so much going on all around us that we're very ignorant of, that we don't know about, and just trying to people watch and just trying to look into their eyes and just trying to gauge what they were thinking. And you could tell that there are a lot of people that were stressed out in there, and it is a high stress job, but overall I am very thankful for the men and women and the civilians who do their part for this nation and its security. Looking around, I'm very humbled by this memorial here, because I do remember where I was at 9/11, and even though I was very young, it's still a very vivid day for me, and just be able to be here in Washington D.C. at the site of where it happened is these many years later is very sobering. And this September would actually be 15 years, wouldn't it be? So it's not really much to say besides all of that. So, I've always had a desire to be able to learn about this stuff anyway, even before I even knew I was going to come here. Because being able to defend your faith, especially in a world like this today where everything is always questioned, you know, with the humanist society, I learned a lot about humanism today, and just learning that they don't have answers. They don't have certainty in anything. And it does come off as a very sad and disappointing way to live, because it's almost like, what's an objective? Because talking about living your life the best way that you can seems very subjective, whereas living for a cause of Christ is very straightforward. And one thing that I do need to work on is I've already been knowledgeable about the situation, but seeing the way these men, you know, Dr. Pat Briney, Dr. Ken, Pastor Love, present these things to us helps me think about how I can debate this topic of biblical worldview while showing Christ. Because it's one thing to debate it, it's another thing to show the love of Christ to other people, because that's what it's all about anyway. Because what's the point of knowing about all this if you still die and go to hell? So that's my biggest takeaway these handful of days, especially today, with learning about the other side and what the other side views, because they're all souls anyway.
After leaving the Pentagon, we went to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, where students saw firsthand the efforts to educate the public with an evolutionary worldview.
Alright, even though we didn't get to see much of it, what we did see was the rocks and minerals, and then I walked through the prehistoric life. And most of it, what I saw, to me, they were pretty much presenting evolution and Darwinism and stuff, and they weren't really presenting creationism. However, because I do believe in creationism, I can point out the false theories and stuff, and it just goes to show that America today is pretty much for evolution.
We wrap Tuesday up with lectures on grassroots activism by the Leadership Institute, a conservative training institution and our gracious hosts here in D.C. As part of the training, students prepared campaign posters, an activity that generated a lot of debate among the students. In all, it was a great day here at LTIA, and we look forward to another educational day tomorrow.